my name is Jobby, and we're looking at the Transformers Legacy United Commander Class Magmatron. The hell is Commander Class? It's just been a while since I've done a mainline Transformer, and this is the most fun that I've had with a mainline figure in a long time. And it doesn't even have a pair of tits. So Magmatron, who is this silly-looking bastard? This is the Megatron equivalent of the highly popular show Beast Wars. Neo. What? You don't like Beast Wars, Neo. Don't fucking lie to me. And this guy is actually a remake of an old 90s toy that I always wanted growing up. That's how old I am. In hindsight, I'm glad I never got it after watching a few reviews of that original figure. Shout out to that toy guy, by the way. Great video. But I always thought that the idea of 3 dinosaurs combining together was always a great idea. And let me tell ya, this figure is packaged in its combined form? Come on, Hasbro. From all of my combiner experience, you don't package the figure in its fully combined form. Have a little showmanship. The drama's now ruined. I can't goon anymore. But I suppose to respect Hasbro's vision, we're gonna start talking about the combined form first. And you know what? This game is awesome. Wait, what? Bit of a meme at this point, but at least it's a generous meme. You're getting some good stuff today, boy. It's no wonder why Raid Shadow Legends has 4 million users and 250 million downloads. They've got over 800 champions, 16 factions, over 1 million builds, and over 30 bosses. A lot of people think that this is some typical play-to-win game. They're wrong. There's plenty of endgame players that enjoyed the game completely for free. There's even an auto battle feature to save your time. So don't you dare call this a time grinder. But Jobby, the game has no depth. Well, you have no balls. Raid actually has a ton of content and is super strategic and challenging. And if that ain't enough content for you, you get constant monthly updates. It's got super high store reviews, cross-platform support so you can play pretty much anywhere, and you can play with friends and family by creating your own clan. Come on, man. You can get a YouTube Premium 2-month subscription for free if you 1. Download Raid before July the 17th, 2. Play for at least 5 days, and 3. Hit level 20 within 30 days. So what the frick are you waiting for? Check my link in the description or scan my QR code to get insane bonuses available only through my link. You'll immediately get a huge starter pack with an epic champion Tayrel from the High Elves faction, who many consider to be the best character in the game. And you'll get another starter pack after reaching level 25 that includes an Epic Rector Drath, one of the strongest support epics. And don't forget, all these champions are available after downloading only through my custom link or QR code. So come on down and find me in the game. I'm JobbytheHong, of course, and join my clan, the Swivel Squad. The painting and the sculpting on this figure is awesome. Links in the description, by the way. Shout out to Big Bad Toy Store for having this relatively early. Good for us guys that can't steal from a factory. As infatuated with the dino combining aspect of this guy, I've gotta admit that Magmatron here as a design ain't the prettiest. I mean, he barely looks like a robot with those fully organic yet suspiciously supple legs. The colors are all over the place, and that ridiculously oversized headdress. Devilman, eat your heart out. This thing's gotta be offensive to somebody, right? Hey, how are you? I mean, sure, this guy's a combiner, and on most combiners, the individual components are fairly obvious, but because these are organic-looking sculpts, it just comes across as more gross than cool. But despite all that, I still love the design here. Pretty much exactly the same as the one from the 90s, and what does this guy have to offer that original figure did not? Well, this guy is really fun to handle. All the joints are tight, and look, as much nostalgia as I have for the Beast era of toys, I'm glad that Transformers engineering moved away from the excessive use of ball joints, instead relying on ratchet joints. Also makes a good case for non-transformable kaiju figures. To include ratchet joints sometimes, it's not a crime. Just adds extra stability and extra fun as you're posing. Let's push the brakes on that there. You get some accessories. First of all is the sword. Beautiful Predacon logo there. Super nostalgic. Haven't seen these on figures since I was a fetus. Big ass shield just clips onto his hand like that. Now, I get that large part of the figure being organic is part of this guy's appeal, but I wish that the shield at least could transform a little bit more. Maybe open up some panels to reveal some mechanical detail underneath there. Because as is, it just looks, again, kind of gross. Like he's protecting himself with Godzilla's nuts. But I suppose was introducing that would compromise the animation accuracy of the figure, right? You don't care. Shut up. Wonder if the back kibble is animation accurate as well. Doesn't really bother me, 2BH. Just wish the tail was longer. A little bit impotent as is. What the hell were we talking about? Right on this potentially offensive headdress, you do get a pair of swords, which look weirdly pathetic. Look, I get child-proofing figures, but they didn't even try to make that look sharp. Get that back on the wings and meditate on the fact that I'm 80 years old playing with kids' toys. And his final accessories are these blast effect parts, which allows you to use his sword as a gun. That looks ridiculous. Chunky, weighty toy that's solid and fun to swivel at the head. Cannot look up or down at all, and this is why I don't usually buy mainline. Swivel at the wings. Hinge joint, ball joint at the little hand, and how much dino articulation do I want to cover right now? Shoulder pad that's totally not a dinosaur head has a hinge joint, which gives a bit more clearance for that shoulder rotation there, which can rotate a full 360. Arm moves out. Bicep swivel, double bend at the elbow, wrist swivel, hinge joint at the fingers, not individually articulated, but you do get an individual thumb. Waist swivel, hinge joint at the side skirts. You could get them really out of the way to clear for that rotation at the hips. Can't move back that far, and it's a good thing these shapely stems got a bit of a nice cock, by the way. I'm serious. It's a really cool design element. Thigh swivel, bend at the knee, which I was initially led to believe would include some shifting armor parts. You know, kind of like a but that bit of armor plating and pistons on the back of the legs is really just for show. You can extend the waist to get a fake ab crunch. No one's ever gonna use that. If you untab this little box here, it allows the ankle to move up. Ridiculous ankle pivot. As for the stubby tail, hinge joint at the base, and a bit of a wag. He is so happy to see you. Posability here is pretty dang good, and the fact that this is composed of 3 separate figures and they don't separate during the posing process at all, that's one of the things that makes this guy so fun. Also, the size really helps, but Commander class, really, I swear to God, this was the size of normal leader classes back in the day. What has our great nation come to? Size comparison time. Here's Figma Modic Economy, Haya Toys Godzilla, Magic Square Light of Peace, not Prime, and for the heck of it, the masterpiece Beast Wars Megatron.
What are you gonna say, David? What are you... Put it in my... Hey, look, it's a duck.
We'll get him next time. I really dig this robot mode despite the silly design. It's part of the appeal, but I feel it would have been even more impressive if the box had properly built up to it, but instead, we're gonna work backwards, which is exactly the order that Hasbro's beautiful fuck. The details are nice and clear, and it definitely helps that the transformation is intuitive, but buy some fucking staples, dude. How many dolphins did you spare by giving us a stupid fold-out instead of a booklet, huh? That's how I fucking feel about Mother Nature. Now we got him broken up into his individual components, and man, I love dinosaurs. Let's start off with the Landsaurus, which I guess is based on the Giganotosaurus. I don't know how to pronounce that. Be mad. Go put a fossil in your ass or something. Whatever manner of creature this is, it looks amazing. Does a pretty good job at hiding its robotic components, which is just a fancy way of saying there's barely any kibble here. The proportions aren't jank, at least to my eye, and removed from the Jurassic abomination of the robot mode. The individual color here is really nice. A refreshing shade of blue, purple, blurple, and as solid as this dinosaur mode is, the tail has some trouble staying put. No matter how hard I try, his ass keeps falling out. As long as you keep the tail in place, it's really fun to handle, it's really fun to pose. I mean, it would be if the mouth could open up more than that. The fuck? This is SH Monster Art Alien all over again. Hey, how are you? Hey. Looks up that far and looks down, not at all. Side to side. Ball joint at the arm. Every ball joint is. Moves out. Dinosaur legs are exactly like the robot mode legs, which means he still has a beautiful spread. But that also reveals a bunch of kibble. Rotation, as you'd expect. Bend at the knee. And you've seen this already. Posability isn't bad. I mean, the robot mode legs are intact, but it's not fantastic either. At the very least, it's nice and big. I will save a full-size comparison after we get through the other two dinosaurs, which our next one is the Seasaurus.
But Jobby, dinosaurs don't swim. That's not a dinosaur.
Can you swim?
No.
Okay. Seasaurus, also known as the Elasmosaurus? More like Orgasmosaurus. This thing's amazing. Even though it's just a pastel-colored rock with fins, it was super satisfying to put together. And into my ass. It's too late for me to stop at this point. And even though the majority of the body is pretty brickish, the neck certainly isn't. Posability. Opening mouth, hinge joint. The neck has 4 segments, and each of them have a hinge joint connected by 2 swivels. Can look up this far and look down this far. Get those swivel hinge joints working, and he can look side to side. Ball joint at the front flippers. Every ball joint. And a hinge joint here. Guess this counts as a butterfly joint. Hinge joint at the back flippers. And that's it. Needless to say, the long neck here adds a few inches. And now let's talk about our last dinosaur here.
But Jobby, dinosaurs can't fly.
What's that? We got the Skysaurus, apparently based on the Quetzalcoatlus. I think a few Browns just unsubscribed. Now this is probably my least favorite of the set. It's not bad, it's just funny looking. It's a little too cute to be an imposing prehistoric creature, no matter how much sharp teeth it has. I mean, that potbelly rivals my own. Give me some chips and scallions and I call that Peking duck. But just like the other dinosaurs, it does a great job at hiding its combiner components. And for this price, you do not get a stand, which I'd recommend. He looks great in the air. Doesn't look bad on the ground, just not as impressive. His posability is also nothing to write home about. Opening mouth, ball joint at the base of the head. Every ball joint can be. Hinge joint at the neck. And these joints together allows them to look up that far and look down that far. Hinge joint at the base of the wings. Swivel here. Ball joint at the hand. Every ball joint. We've already talked about that. Ball joint at the legs. Allows for leg rotation. Moves back that far. Bend at the knee. Can bend the other way. Hinge joint at the ankle. And a hinge joint at the toes. Not too bad, and I don't know how much of a stink I want to make about the lack of articulation on all these dinosaurs. Because how often are you going to display them like this instead of this? Well, if you love dinosaurs as much as I do, probably often. I mean, their size in these modes still gives them a nice shelf presence. Size comparison time again. Here's Monica Godzilla Prime and Megatron. Dinosaur modes are great. Transformation is fun. Robot mode is awesome. And that could just be it, right? There's definitely not another mode that... let's just get into it. And here we have the child's torture. The instructions call it the Magmasaurus, but this is a dino orgy if there ever was one. My first impression was to call this not a real mode. I mean, it's not even advertised on the box, as if Hasbro was trying to bury their shame. You can't fucking hide from me. I know your secret. But what saves this mode from feeling like a complete afterthought is that it actually feels solid. There are indeed exclusive tabs and slots specifically for this mode. So this isn't something that the engineers just made up on the spot, like it probably was in the 90s. This mode was well thought out, it's even playable, and of course, posable. And the articulation takes advantage of all the joints we talked about previously. Even the robot mode arms get some action. Seasaurus neck is now a hyper-articulated tail, and Skysaurus legs are just Skysaurus legs. He's super chilling. Someone give him a beer. And a piece of articulation that's exclusive to this mode. You could actually get some decent displays with this thing. And he's also pretty dang big. Our final size comparison. Monica Godzilla Prime and Megatron.
What the slag?
Dino Orgy, Dinosaurs, Robot Mode. Everything about this set is awesome. Get this thing if you're a fan of transforming dinosaurs. Or if you like Beast Wars Neo, shut the fuck up. And don't forget to download Raid Shadow Legends through my link in the description or scan my QR code to get some insane bonuses. If this thing gets popular enough, maybe we'll even see a Transformers Legacy big convoy, huh?
But Jobby, I thought you didn't care about Beast Wars Neo. How do you know who Big Convoy is? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Hey, my name is Jobby, and we're looking at the Kang Toy CT Chio 02 Land Bull, the second figure in a whole line of combiners that I started 3 years ago.